Come on by and welcome to episode 62 of the Super P Podcast. It is I, Polo Parata, back from Fashion Week. Back from the GAK show yesterday. We have another guest. This guy, he does a whole bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? A whole multitude of things. But I'm gonna let him tell you guys what he does. Mr. Tone Tank.
Yo, how's it going? Thanks
How
for
you
having
doing,
me,
brother?
bro.
Thank you for coming, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like when I saw, like you sent me as some stuff. I saw the figures before,
Right.
but I just didn't know you did like a plethora of different things.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem
Yeah,
that I have.
yeah,
Like I'll
you-
see some shit and I'm like, yo, I get into something. I'm like, how do I do it? I want to do it.
Mhm.
You know, like how shit is made has always fucked my head up.
Right.
And then I get into this thing to where like, yo, I want to know how to make it. What if I had to make that thing?
Mhm.
And I rack my brain.
Right.
And you know, what you don't realize when I'm on some shit like that is people dedicate their whole life, 20-something years to learn how to do something. And I do it, I'm like, oh, it's not coming out right. I need to do it right away. So yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I do a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Rapping was
tell the
first.
people, yeah.
Rapping and graffiti was first for me.
Right.
I started trying to DJ first before rapping.
Mm-hmm.
I loved hip hop since like, I don't know, when I was like 12 years old, started getting grounded a lot. You know, that's when the problems kind of started. The problems always there.
Right.
But I'd be home and they would cut my electric to my part of the house. That's it. My punishment, my parents were on some real tough love shit. Cut the electric, this and that, you ain't going out. But I had this little clock radio, a little timer, because we didn't have cell phones to wake us up back then. I had a little clock radio. They couldn't cut that out because they knew, you know, I needed it for school and shit.
Right.
So on Friday nights, when I'm grounded, you know, because of the shit I did during the week in school every day, getting in trouble in school, I would listen to DJ Red Alert. You know what I mean? Cool DJ Red Alert, 98.7 Kiss FM back in the day. Listen to his shows and get really in. I became more, so everybody was into rap, but I became like deep into rap, like nerded out into rap, like submerged. I dove right into that shit because I realized, you know, they're not just rhyming words. There was like two key moments in rap. I'm not even saying hip hop. I'm saying in rap when I was like, yo, one was when Busta on Scenario did that row like a dungeon. I'm like, yo, these are more than words. Now they doing sounds. He's animated. And then Redman on EPMD Headbanger when he said, wicked with the style, you think I had cerebral palsy, like, ow. I'm like, this is the performance here. This is like next level shit, man. And I was already dabbling, but I was by the time those two things were done, I was fucking hooked.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So then, you know, I wanted a DJ. You needed money to DJ kind of like, cause you got to keep up on the records all the time. And I wasn't good at that, man. I wasn't good at, you know, I would have had to work. And that's when I didn't want to work. I wanted to hang out and get high and all of that stuff.
Right.
So, you know, we'd be out drinking and nobody wanted to be at home. We didn't want to be inside. We wanted to be outside so you do whatever you want. So we would just be drinking 40s, like, you know, like kids in the 90s did, and just start freestyling. And then that turned into starting to record raps, you know? So that's how the rap and shit started. And then that introduced me to, and then I was doing that in graffiti kind of back and forth, you know? Then graffiti got me, I was already like going to like family court and Pins Petition and all that shit when I was a kid. I was just a handful. I wasn't a bad kid. I just wanted to be free. You know, I just wanted to do what I thought. First of all, I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do, man. I thought I was living my best life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who the fuck wants to? I didn't know my parents loved me. They just don't want me to do that shit because, you know, it's going to fuck my life up. So, you know, it wasn't even, I didn't understand there could be a different way. So I'm in and out of court like all the time. And then finally I started getting arrested for the graffiti shit. And I had a probation officer that you know, this is like a fucking Hulu Wu-Tang Saga after school, like where the probation officer is like, So you like graffiti, you like art? Yeah, well, why don't you pretty good? Why don't you think about going to school for graphic design? I'm like 16 or something at this time. I'm on a PINS petition, and they put me in a half-day vocational school for graphic design. And that's how I ended up actually finishing high school, which was not going to happen, and going to college. And I ended up going to FIT in Manhattan for graphic design, which got me into art. I was always into art. I was always an artist at heart, but it wasn't so acceptable to be like, I'm into art. So when I was a kid, graffiti was an acceptable way to express yourself. Rapping was an acceptable way to express yourself, but deep down, I was always an artist.
Right.
So I'm always involved in some kind of creative thing. It's just expression of the self. And yeah, there's always been a lot to express.
So how did you get into the which I think is really, really dope, the figures you do?
The figures, the toys.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have this clothing company that started in like the early 2000s, like 2003, I think. I did my first shirt, selling them out of cars just for the shit that I wanted to wear. Then my friends would want them, and then other people would see them, and then they would want them. Next thing you know, I got a clothing line.
Right.
It was called Scum Life. Because I had left New York. Come like 2001, I left New York. I had 2 court cases. That shit finally ended. And I had kind of straightened my act up as far as substances and alcohol and shit goes. And I thought I thought I had to leave New York or I'm going to keep getting in trouble. And in a sense, I needed to get away for a little while, clear my head, let shit fall, let shit settle. And I went to Arizona, bro. I went to Arizona. But I met another person. I met another interesting New Yorker out there when I was in Arizona. My boy CH, Charlie the Hustler. I got a lot of love for him. Anyway, and when I was out there, I noticed people looked at me a certain way. I never really experienced it too much that way. I wasn't even aware that there were rich people, like actual real rich fucking people, till like I went out there and I realized, those are like real white people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that. They're like, no, we don't want you, buddy. I don't know what you are, but you're not one of us. They don't know what a fucking Italian person is out there.
Right.
And I never felt so. I embraced it, Scum Life. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, and we started as a joke. And then anyway, I started this clothing company, Scum Life. Had some decent amount of success with it. It got kind of widespread. We had shit in Japan, Germany, other spots all across the country and everything. And I was just on some creative shit. So that was before like everybody and their fucking brother had started a streetwear company in like 2007. That started happening. 2008, the whole market for everything crashed.
Right.
And then good luck collecting money from stores that ain't open.
Right.
They got to pay Nike. They got to pay Con Edison. They don't give a fuck about carrying your little shit. They're not paying you. For the record, I collected all my fucking money. I had this dude in Flatbush showed me money and we rolled up in there and I got my fucking money from him. You know what I mean? I can't sleep. Somebody owes me. I don't come talk to me, bro. I'll let you,
right.
be a man about it, but you're not getting me. You're not getting me. I don't care if it's $25, bro.
Right.
So anyway, man, it started becoming more of a fucking business, bro. And really, I'm an artist. I'm not a businessman,
Right.
And that's cool. But I don't want to. I hustle in my own sense, but not at the expense of true creativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, bro, there was one figure I wanted to answer your make a long story long.
Yeah.
There was one figure I wanted to make.
Right.
I grew up into the hip hop shit. As I got a little older, a lot of my friends were into hardcore music, New York hardcore shit, and I was like, At first, I'm like, I don't really fuck with that metal shit. I didn't know what the difference, man.
Right.
And no, it wasn't metal. That's like, it was other street shit.
Right.
And I saw these dudes that wherever they went, they were respected too. You know what I mean? And so I started really getting into that. And just saw it was a good way to like connect with myself. The hardcore music. Through that, I got introduced to like oi music and all other kinds of shit. And the oi shit is the skinhead music, the skinhead culture, which I'm not gonna go into and fucking try to explain how there's non-racist one. Right. If you don't get it, Google it, man. Anyway, obviously I'm from New York,
Yeah.
and the way I rock and who I rock with, clearly I wasn't on, the racist tip.
Right.
But anyway, I realized after we went out. I don't know. You know the band, the Templars?
I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
We went to see a Templars show, and after that, I realized we were talking. Me and my boy Mel, who I grew up with, one of my oldest friends, this Turkish kid from Bensonhurst.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest, he's like my brother.
Yeah.
We were talking, and we were like, yo, fucking Panthro from the Thundercats
Mm-hmm.
was clearly black. The dude that did his voice,
Right.
I think it's the dude that played Bill Cosby's father on the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
But he had the suspenders. I'm like, son, Panthro was a black skinhead, man. So all I wanted to do, I started drawing a cartoon.
Right.
And it was going to be a T-shirt. It never became a T-shirt. But then I was like, yo, son, I'm going to make the action figure. Then I went on to Price action figures, to get them made in vinyl in Japan. And I was like, and even my business partner at the time, I had a business partner at the time who was the money end of it because he had other things going on and he wanted to help me out with this. And he had it at the time before the DEA came through and knocked his shit down.
Oh, shit.
That's years ago. It's beyond the statute of limitations. I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, even though he had money, he had to spend. He's like, I don't know, bro. That's a lot of money. He reality checked me. Me, I'm the dreamer. I'm like, yo, this is a dope thing. Well, how many are you going to sell? I don't know how many you're going to sell, but we should make this. And he's like, you should figure out another way to make it. So then I didn't want to fucking make the toys by hand myself. Out of necessity, I made that black skinhead Black Panthro. Yeah, black skinhead Panthro. Non-racist. It was non-racist black skinhead Panthro. I added the extra long tagline on because I got really into bootlegs around that time, bootleg figures, bootleg action figures. Because I went to one thrift store and found a couple of old Masters of the Universe figures. And I was like, oh man, I used to have these. These were actually dope. And then I started going on eBay trying to get all the ones that I lost when I was a kid and no longer. My mother said she didn't throw them out. She definitely threw them out, And as I'm searching those on eBay, I'm finding the bootleg ones. And the bootlegs are from Mexico, Argentina, and they're even crazy. It'll be like Guerreros del Espacio, and all of this shit, man. So they would have these long, broken English taglines. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man would be spelt wrong. And so I added to that. You know what I mean? I had another one I did Bat Mono. I was like half ape, half bat, half something else. Clearly you can't have half and half. That's 150%. I got really into the wrong use of grammar and shit like that on the packaging. So that's how I made the first figure, was a non-racist black skinhead Panthro. I had my man Scott Durrow even did who made beats for me back in the day, make a theme song for the guy, a little cartoon action theme song, using some old rock steady shit, rude boy shit, and then mixed it with the original Thundercats. Maybe I could email that to you if you want to dub it in or something. And then after that, I don't know, man, I just forgot about the t-shirts. I just didn't even give a fuck about the t-shirts. I was like, yo, everybody's out here. And that's when shit started getting real bright. I mean, colors are cool, but it became around a time where everybody was wearing a lot of bright shit. And I was and tight shit. And I just, not, whatever, man. I wasn't feeling the direction it was going.
Right.
And I thought it was oversaturated. And I just, as a business move, it wasn't really dope to keep it going. And from an artistic standpoint, I wasn't interested anymore. So I just started doing the figures. And that became my main thing for a while. That and the rap and shit.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to juggle all of this shit, man. So there'd be sometimes I would be like, if we went on tour or something, there were no figures being made.
Right.
It was hard to stay consistent when you got so many different things going. And then vice versa. If I'm really into the figures, then raps weren't getting written. Do my best to keep this kind of balance.
Yeah, because I looked on the website and you got you got the clothes. I see you got the clothes. The music I think is on the top, and then the figures is I think it's the next page or the bottom.
All right.
You had 4 or 5 figures on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which website was it?
I think the Tone Tank one.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, no, I got a lot.
I
I
know
think I got a lot of figures on there.
Yeah, I clicked the link, and it
Yeah,
went straight to.
yeah.
If you maybe you got more than one website, or maybe like you have one here for like music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just seeing maybe it was on the Bandcamp or.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because you have different links. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, I saw the figures. I was like, yo, hey Walter, you need to see his figures, bro. It's like I can't explain it. It's like it has like say like it'll be like the figure and then something on its head. It'd be like an iron board on his head or something like that.
Like an inanimate object.
Yeah, really
that
really
relates
abstract.
to like. Oh yeah, from like, is that Ren and Stimpy? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of like Sicilian American, Sicilian New York shit. Like I had the Mano Cornuto for the head. And I had a Doric column. And then I wanted to make it, also I was kind of taking a dig at it's like a little tongue in cheek, kind of like false pretension dig at the art world because it's so fucking pretentious, bro. Like, yo, motherfuckers will take like a piece that corner of that carpet and then put it in like a thing and then spend fucking 10 days writing about the thing and it took them 30 seconds to make. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, like, you gotta really sift through all of that. But I started calling them all like self-portrait of the artist as Mano Cornuto Charm, self-portrait of the artist as Doric Column outside of Agrigento, self-portrait of the artist as Manhattan Special Espresso Soda Bottle, self-portrait of the artist as Red Devil spray paint logo.
This is dope, bro.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and that's the other shit that I've been really into. That's what I'm mostly into right now.
Yeah, you gotta check this out. This is when I saw it, I was like, damn. Hold on. Let me go back. Yeah. Look at it. But he has other figures. He has like a Hawaii figure. So wait, so it comes or you put it in the in the fire thing?
Yeah, I build like those are marble and cement.
Right.
To fit inside the New York Fire Department, the fire boxes, the fire alarm boxes that are empty, the abandoned ones, the ones that are rogue. And yeah, that's kind of my thing. I honestly at this point it doesn't make sense for me to really like go around catching tags at this point. It just doesn't make sense for me. I love graffiti. I love and respect folks who still do it. It's just not where I'm at right now. I make this other shit, and that's what I'm called to.
Right. So you more of a like you kind of gave that up. You're just more of creating like the figures, still doing the music.
I did that the way that like people did like minor league baseball or something. You know what I mean? Like yo, it's a part of my life. But now I'm working as like a teacher. You know what I mean? Like it's a part. Right. It raised me.
Right.
And yo, I've been in subway tunnels. I motion bombed all of that shit. I racked tons of fucking pain. I got arrested plenty for it. But like I wouldn't claim it. I respect it. I respect the game enough to not claim it and call myself that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's people out there still doing it. So out of respect for those folks. But yeah, I know what's up. I've been around it. I know what's up. I fought over fucking graph beef. And I would do it if somebody fucks with my street shit. Right. If my piece is in there, if somebody, steps on it, I'll handle my business. You know what I mean? I still play by similar rules that shit was like I didn't play fucking sports in high school. I was barely in high school. I did graffiti, and I played by those rules.
So you still go by the code.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny now that you're talking. You know who told me about you? Joe Braccaccio.
That's my fucking boy. Yo, Braccaccio. Yo, he's on my tape.
Shout out to Joe.
Bro, he's on my fucking he's on my cassette tape.
Yeah, because we were talking. You know, he has Broccaccio's awesome shop.
Yeah.
You should go there. It's awesome. And,
Go there and ask him for a sandwich after 3:00. All right.
But yeah,
Bring your own bread. He loves that.
yes,
No, I'm playing.
he used to tell me about his boy Tone
Yeah.
all the time. His boy
Yeah,
Tone,
yeah.
and I'd be like, "Who are you talking about?" And he'd be like, "It's Tone Tank." Like, Tone who?
That's funny. I didn't know you know Joe. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
man.
boy.
Because I used to live right over there, like where the shop is at. I was around the corner for like 3 years.
Okay, yeah.
And then I was on Caton for about another 3 years. I was in
Yeah, I've
Windsor
been
Terrace
over,
for a
bro.
little
I've
bit,
been
yeah.
over that way for like 17 years.
Yeah.
In
So
that
he
neighborhood.
yeah, he definitely told me about you and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, man, it's just like yeah, so it's basically you're in this next phase. Oh, how'd you meet Clayton?
How'd I met Clayton?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I known about Clayton for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I met him through Sarah. You know Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah Swinwood? Yeah, I met her through Sarah.
Right.
Because I said, yo, I want to meet Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I was bothering her. It wasn't like it was her idea or it was his idea. He wasn't like, I got to meet Tone Tank. I was like, yo, I got to meet Clayton.
Right.
I wanted one of the hats. Man.
Mm-hmm.
I need one of the fucking hats, bro. There's a caliber of shit that I respect. There's a realness of things that I respect, sincerity, genuineness of things that I respect, and he operates in that fucking mode.
Yeah.
Of real shit and sincerity, and what he captures, the vibe that his shit captures is like something I'm trying to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's what I relate to.
Yeah, bro. His hats are art pieces in itself, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I've had him on the show.
Yeah.
And I mean I've known him for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny when you get texts from Clayton and he's like he talking about all types of shit. Like,
right.
Okay.
Where'd you meet him at?
I met him in the Lower East Side, but a long time ago. And then I reconnected with him because I do some stuff with Danny Cortez.
Okay.
Miniature artist. Him and Danny are really close. So I just kept on like, running into him or I went to his place, Clayton's, I call it the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just kicked it, you know what I'm saying? And the hats, I got like 6, 7 hats, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, bro, why you on the subject right now, man? Publicly. Yo, Danny Cortez, man. A long time ago.
Right.
I did a box in my neighborhood.
Right.
And this cat that lived in the neighborhood, this dude Junie, was like, yo, son, you gotta hit up my man. These dioramas.
Yeah.
This is how long ago it is.
Yeah.
And so yo, we eventually hit, he introduced us over the Instagram, text, no, I think it was Instagram, these dioramas. It wasn't even Danny Cortez yet.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, yo, this is what I'm doing. I seen what he was doing. His shit was not popped off yet, but I seen it and I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like with this dude, and this dude is dope. Like I could tell he's like a real New Yorker and everything like that, man. And I showed him what I was doing with the boxes and was like, yo, I want to connect on this, man. And he's like, yo, we definitely got work. That shit is dope. We definitely got work to do. This is like in the beginning of the summer. Then in the middle of the summer, I was running around. I don't know. I think my wife was pregnant at the time. It was during the pandemic.
Right.
The beginning of the pandemic that summer. So I was dealing with that. And then I hit him back and he's like, yo, for sure, let's do it. And I kind of was a little I wasn't flaking but like I just didn't hard body follow up. And then his shit blew the fuck up, man. But yo, I'm saying all that to say, yo, Danny, son, I still want to do a motherfucking piece together.
Yeah,
that's it, man.
I can connect.
I want to do one of the fire hydrant shits together because not fire hydrant. Scratch that. The firebox.
Yeah.
Since I do like the little firebox, like mausoleums, dioramas, the firebox dioramas.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something with him using the fireboxes. So, yo, Danny, hit me up, all right?
Yeah,
I'm not too proud to publicly, say that shit out loud, man.
Yeah, no, you don't gotta worry. I mean, listen, I talk to him all the time. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you're connecting.
It's just like we was kind of like here.
Yeah.
And then his shit took the fuck off.
Yeah, he's just super busy, bro.
I get, of course, man.
The
more people know about you,
the
more people ask you to do shit.
Yeah, but he's super creative and he would definitely.
Nah, I
wanna do
could
that.
tell he's a down to earth cat and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how like so many things is like just connected, but you never know
Yeah, bro.
one person this and that. Like,
I did one thing in my neighborhood,
mhm,
and then like this dude just hit me up because it was right in front of his building. He was like, "Yo, I like that shit, man. Thank you for doing that there."
right.
You know, like, and I was like, "You're the one that I want to be hit up from." You know
Mhm,
what I mean? Like
mhm,
a dude from the neighborhood appreciate, because that's the
right.
whole point of these fucking I call them street corner galleries.
Mhm,
Is A, is to give myself, I'm not a fucking rich kid or anything. I don't got a lot of like connections and shit like that in the art world. And I don't know that I could or want to do what it necessarily takes to get those. I'd rather show you than ask you. You know what I
mhm,
mean? I'll show you what I do. I put it out there. So I'm giving myself access to putting myself out without a gallery, without having to ask for the permission of some fucking gatekeeper.
right.
Please put me on this and that. Like, I'm gonna put my stuff and I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna do it quality. You know what I mean? I'm not just putting it. I'm not just gluing some bullshit on the wall. Like, I'm gonna do it with quality.
Mhm,
Um, but then the other half of that is half giving me access, and the other half is I remember getting access to art as a kid
mhm,
in places where I normally wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't see it. Not everybody has time to go to fucking museums.
right.
Not everybody gets let into when the cool art opening is happening. You
Mhm,
know what I mean? When the cool gallery opening is happening. And maybe they got kids and they can't fucking afford to have a babysitter, just go to, you know.
right.
So not everybody has access to these things. And I like just having that shit out there in the world. So who naturally fucks with it, I don't need everybody to fuck with it.
Mhm,
But if it's out there, whoever naturally fucks with it, it's a good way to communicate. Uh, that's my favorite way to communicate
yeah.
is through visual art.
Mhm.
You know,
So what's the next? Because you call them street galleries,
yeah, street corner
street corner
galleries.
galleries. So when's the next one? When are you gonna do the next one?
Uh, well, I got to heal up. I just had a surgery, so I
Yeah.
can't be really running around carrying too much shit.
Right. Right. Right.
But I already got my location.
Mhm.
It's out by the Chelsea projects over there.
Okay.
There's one I've been scoping this one for a while. Honestly, I just done Brooklyn so far.
Oh,
And
you gotta venture out, bro.
everybody, I know, bro, but when you live in Brooklyn, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah. It's hard.
sometimes don't fucking,
Yeah.
you
No, it's hard.
forget
It's
that
hard.
like people know Brooklyn because it's a satellite to Manhattan. You
Right.
forget that like the real activity is happening in Manhattan.
Mhm.
I get in my own little world out
Right.
here, and I forget that there's another world. So yes, I do got to cross the bridges and
Yeah,
tunnels and
bro. Because trust me,
get out there. I know, man. It'll be
when you get
a
it,
lot
when you
different.
start putting it all over the place,
Yeah,
and then different eyes are seeing it.
I just forgot there's places besides Brooklyn, bro. It's the planet, you know.
But nah, you right though. But I mean, that's good. I mean, I hope you heal up properly, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I'm on my way, man. I'm on my way. I'm walking in the park,
Oh,
fucking
okay,
going on long ass walks.
okay,
Uh, fucking with some meditation and all of that stuff, man.
good.
I'm healing up. I'm healing strong. I just gotta take it a little easy. I can't be running too crazy. That's why I can't even ride the motorcycle. That shit is too heavy. I rode the little Vespa over here
Yeah.
today.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice,
The
nice.
fucking the bike's too heavy, man.
Right,
I'll pull it again.
right.
They just sold me up like a week ago.
He trying to open it back up again.
Yeah, nah, man. I got to go back to work one of these days. So my work has been very paid. The guys in my union have been very
Yeah,
patient with me
nice,
on
nice.
my I've been out since like late May
Okay,
out
you
on
been out for a
the
while,
workers comp.
right?
So
All right, so
yeah,
when you think you're going back?
November. I think November, probably September, October.
I
I'll
mean,
heal up,
you
go
got
back
it.
in November,
Yeah, you got. I mean, but you gotta wait till you're
make
100%.
that fucking holiday money, and then I don't know, we'll figure out what the next thing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like to work a job too much.
Mm-hmm.
I like to work it just enough.
Yeah,
I'll give you an honest day's work, but I'm not living for that shit.
right.
Um,
You don't burn yourself out anyway.
yeah, I
'Cause-
mean, yo, you die, they're gonna replace you the next day, bro. It's not
right.
worth killing yourself over. It's not worth destroying your body, destroying your mind over, man. It's amazing how quickly people forget you when you're at, you think, oh, this is my boy at work, and it's true, it is. I love these people, but yeah, you're just not there. You're not there. You're not in the conversation. That's it. You know. So what really matters, what do you want to do with the limited amount of time that I have on this planet?
Right.
I'm gonna work enough that me and my family live indoors and we stay fed and we have a couple of nice things, but I'm not doing anything beyond that.
Right.
Anything beyond that is gonna come from what I'm able to hustle up through the art or through other ventures. Like, I do some acting shit, whatever.
Yeah.
It's got to come from creativity. Like we used to call it like anything we made with rap or the art back in the day before we had families and shit like that, we would call sneaker money. Like you made your bills and shit in this pocket from the job and all of that. And then anything you made from the creative shit would be like, for sneakers and clothes and stuff like that. So anything beyond the bare necessities is going to have to come from what I make creatively in order to put myself in a position to where I'm not just working overtime. I've done that so much. I've made like by my standard a lot of money before, through working, through blue collar shit in the union. And didn't matter to me. It didn't matter. Like I was like, all right, this is cool. I got this toy. I got that toy. Really what matters is I got ideas in my fucking head and I need to make them or I'm not happy. And I love my family. I love the shit out of my family. They don't fill that hole. Money doesn't fill that hole. That void. The only thing that fills that void is making shit, creating shit. I have to. Believe me, I wish I didn't have to.
Right.
I wish I didn't want to. It would be fucking a lot simpler and a lot easier. I would just go to work and this and that. That's not the type of brain that I was born with,
So it's the creativity that drives you more than anything.
Yeah, I'm excited about life. Bro, I don't give a fuck. There's so much conversations I don't give a fuck about. But you sit me next to like one of these guys, you might think I'm exactly the same as him. You look like me, sound like me, blah, blah. I don't got shit to talk about. The second someone's talking about how they made something, I don't care if it's something I don't fucking make. And I'm like, really, how do you make that? You make, how you could take that apart and put together, fix it. You manufacture that shit. You created that with your hands. I don't care if it's an 80-year-old lady. I'd rather talk to her about making her fucking pottery than some fucking dude my age about whatever bullshit sneakers or something. What, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so those are my people. Like, that's my tribe, the creative folks.
No, do you still do the merch? Or you just dibble and dabble in it now?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't do it like I don't have like a clothing company no more. I just whatever I make is under Tone Tank. If I'm acting, I'm listed as Tone Tank in the movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm making rap, that's Tone Tank. Stickers, Tone Tank. If I catch a tag in the street, that's Tone Tank. It all leads back. Anything I'm putting out there leads back to Tone Tank.
Right.
And believe it or not, I'm actually not fucking that self-absorbed. It's just, when you're a person, and when a person becomes a brand and you no longer have a brand, it may seem that way, but honestly, I don't hold that much stock in like my identity or anything like that. I'm just making my little mark. That's it. I'm just writing my name on the wall, just like everybody else is. Proverbial wall, not necessarily, sometimes literal wall, but I'm just trying to leave my little mark here, trying to see what I can do. Yeah.
Did you said you do acting? Did you like when you had to do the acting? Or
I love acting. It's an opportunity to explore what would it be like to live a different life, like I mean, whatever. Everybody sold a little bit of shit or something, but at this age, I'm not a drug dealer.
Right.
Well, it's cool to see somebody gives you a part as a drug dealer. You're like, all right, what would I do if I was this age and I was still like living in a basement selling weed in the basement? Because I played that part one time.
Yeah.
I was like, well, luckily I know a lot of fucking guys that did that when I was growing up, and I had no shortage to pull from. Or being a racist cop in 1968. What would that look like? And I'm going outside the Black Panthers headquarters and I'm fucking heckling them. What would that look like? What does that morning look like? All right, well, he'd probably have his coffee and me and my partner got the day started by having our coffee in the trailer. My cop partner, but my acting partner.
Right.
And fucking drinking coffee and listening to like old fucking Peckerwood country music that's talking about this country's gone to shit.
Right.
I mean, I don't mean this new shit, this new like pretty boy country, fucking, you know, pop music. I mean, listen to like old like Merle Haggard shit, you know? I like real music, bro. I don't care if it was hardcore, hip hop, country, like that was real shit.
Right.
And anyway, you know, you get to get in the head of somebody else. And you know, as somebody that really did a lot more than dabble with like alcohol and substances, whatever you really came through with was cool. You know, I'll do a blast and be like, what was that, bro? You know, it was just about getting out of the self. You know what I mean? So acting's another way to get out of myself while connecting with yourself, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything I went from doing, you know, partying. It wasn't even party. At the end, it was like chemistry. I'm like, all right, if I take a little bit of this up, I'm up too high. I gotta come down. I'm fucking shaking. I gotta, you know, that's not partying. That's chemistry. It was no longer fun, and I was way too old. You know, I was starting to feel the effects of that on my body. I was like 34, and I was feeling like, yo, I could feel my fucking liver and my kidneys, and it wasn't. I was bloated and pale, and it's summertime. Never been pale in the summertime, bro. I was fucking pale. I'm like, man, you washed up, bro. You need to get off of this. So I was getting out of the self. I just want to get out of the self. And then I figured out there's like other ways to get out of the self. Creativity is a way to be in touch with yourself and get out of the self. And then also just meditation too, man. I got really into meditation as a way to just really nail the shit I was trying to nail when I was getting high.
Right.
I was just trying to free up my mind from all the fucking negative thoughts and the pain and the, you know, whatever I was like chained to. It was not enjoyable, man. It was just not enjoyable to be trapped in my own head and with all the fucking thoughts. And you know, I've been just spending the rest of my life figuring out how to go past that. And it's been a good thing, man. And it was very uncomfortable in the beginning to like all of a sudden I don't have all these other things I used to lean on. It's not like, oh, I stopped that and everything got good. I stopped that and I'm all turned around. I'm disoriented. Now all of a sudden, like, you know, I got feelings. I didn't know I had feelings, you know. I thought I was just pissed off all the time. I didn't realize I was depressed. I thought I was just angry and fought all the time because there was so many layers that I was like, you know, I was drowning.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say that shit is uncomfortable. But if you could push through that being uncomfortable, get to a place where you don't need any of that other shit. You know what I mean? I don't need anybody to think anything about me. Think good, think bad, you know, keep it respectful, but I don't care what somebody thinks. You know? And I really don't. I used to say, yo, I don't give a fuck. I gave a fuck a lot.
Right.
I gave a fuck so much that I needed to tell people, yo, I don't give a fuck. That's my word. No, but now I don't give a fuck in a good way, man. Like, yo, everybody's free to do whatever they do.
Exactly.
Let's just not step on each other's toes, you know? And that's, I'm just glad that's something I'm figuring out in this life that I was given, because a lot of people kind of didn't get the chance to like mend their ways and get another chance, you know, especially nowadays with the shit that they got out there, bro. Yo, that shit makes dope look like fucking, what's that shit you used to dip?
Fun dip.
Fun dip. Yo, the shit that they got now makes dope look like fun dip. Like you'd be like, I don't know, man. The shit they got out now is crazy, bro.
It's next level, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like zombie apocalypse, futuristic, you know, dystopian shit. It's very dystopian right now in general.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So what can we expect next from Tone Tank? Like, what's the next chapter or the next, as you turn the page?
I'm going to keep doing these boxes, and I'm coming from Manhattan. I'm coming to get out in Manhattan.
Go. That's what I want to hear.
Boxes. And what's it called? I want to make bigger statues now. I don't want to really make the smaller figures as much. I want to make actual statues out of like stone and mixed. I do a lot of 3D printing. I'm messing with 3D printing.
Yeah.
But I don't like to just do something totally digitally. I like, even when I draw, I'll draw a lot of it by hand. I'll scan some of that in the computer, mix between like digital and analog. You know, that's just my process. And when I do things, even if things are like 3D in the computer, usually a lot of the times they'll come from like a sculpt I did by hand and then had that 3D scanned. So right now I'm working on a top secret figure for my boys Chances with Wolves.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, those are my boys.
Nice.
I go way back with them. Grow up right in this neighborhood, actually, man. We all used to work at Southpaw. I don't know if you remember
I remember
Southpaw.
Southpaw.
Yeah, used to work over there. And then I go way back with Cray from
Right
like
there
the
on
time he
Fifth.
was 16. Right, he used to live right on 9th Street and 7th Ave, up the corner from Smilings and Donuts. And yeah, we've been rocking for that many years since we
Yes.
were like 16.
Southpaw was a great venue, bro. You remember
Yeah,
those
man.
days?
Oh yeah, I do, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad that I had them. They were there for the perfect
Yeah,
time in my
man.
life. And it kind of ended around the time where I kind of stopped going out as much and everything, you know?
Yeah, I mean a lot of great rappers came through there, like Sean Price, Action Bronson was there
Was he?
when he first coming up. Yeah, he came through there. Rock Marciano came through there.
What the fuck? Where was I working? I
Uh,
wasn't working those nights.
I know the
Yeah.
last day of this final, if I remember right, the final Southpaw. It was like a lot of them came just
I
for
was
that
in
last
pictures from
night.
that day, from the
Yeah,
last, yeah.
it's like the last night. I mean, but it was a dope hip hop venue
It
for
was
a little.
great.
You know what
It
I'm
was
saying? It
great,
used to have
man.
a lot
It
of.
fed like everybody I was friends with.
Mm-hmm.
That place really fed
Yeah,
everybody I
man.
was friends with, man.
I used to enjoy when they had the block party and they used to have the stage out in front.
We rocked that.
And
My
then,
group that
yeah,
I was in,
yeah,
Nuclear Family, rocked that a few times,
yeah.
man.
I remember going
They
to that.
if it wasn't for Southpaw, gave us a venue to come out of as a rap group, Nuclear Family.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a lot of shows with like Pumpkinhead and them and Brooklyn Act Kids.
Rest
Shout
in
out to all of
peace.
them, man. And yeah, Pumpkinhead, fucking nicest guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Coolest guy. From the first time I was like 16 or something, caught a cypher, man, at some rave party. And I think the Club Vinyl back in the day. And yo, it was probably not that good. It probably was not that good of a freestyle, man. And Pumpkinhead was there. I think like an arsonist or two. He was a couple years older than me, so like that's that's Pumpkinhead. He got records out. I'm just a fucking kid with a backpack.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And no, he gave me like dap and was like, "Yo, you said blah blah," and bro, that made my day. Rather than like, be whatever, kid. Dismissive of everything. Like that just goes to show like what a fucking good dude he was, man. I miss that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was dope.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember one of the last times I spoke to him. We were in Highline Ballroom, and I was working with this guy called AG the Coroner, and he gave me his number because he wanted to do a song with AG. And that was like one of the last times I spoken to him. Then like a couple months later, that was it. But
Yeah.
such is life.
Yeah, man.
But we're gonna wrap this up, bro. Where can they find you online?
Go to tonetank.nyc. tonetank.nyc or just Tone Tank on Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just the list goes on. The Super P Podcast. If you sign up for the Patreon, you can see this episode today. You can hear it today. And for the $5 subscription, I started telling people I'm putting my sports bets on Patreon. So for $5.
Not last night. Not today's bets, though.
Not today.
You don't want today's
Leave
bets.
it alone today. Last night I won 3 times. So
yeah.
do it. Just, do what you can. If you want to, jump in, FanDuel, DraftKings, I'm all about it. Every day I post a bet. Yeah. Tone, thank you for coming, bro.
Yo, peace, man. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Appreciate that. Hell yeah, man.
Saying? Hopefully, you can do a figure for the show.
Oh yeah. Last thing I was saying, I'm making a Chance with Wolves figure.
Yeah.
That's what's next.
Yes.
Manhattan, Chance with Wolves figure.
Yes.
And then I am talking to Clayton about something, but I don't like to talk about shit until I'll tell you when it's a little further along.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it. Just
yeah.
let it just stay in anonymity,
but
as I say.
I ain't fucking going nowhere. They ain't pricing me out of here. I'm gonna be here for a while. So
nice. But yes, we will be back with another episode. Maybe next week, maybe not. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm always busy doing something. And Comic-Con is coming soon. So we're gonna drag Josh to Comic-Con. I'm gonna take him on Industry Day, which is Thursday, and we're gonna have some footage there. So you can look forward to that. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Let's go, Cowboys. 4 o'clock. Peace. 2B Podcast. Ciao.